Ambos Nogales, as the region is known, was founded over a century ago on a natural relationship between workers on the American side and businesses on the Mexican side. The proposed increase in the fares is just a couple of coins per day, but for those who are dependent on this system to get around, those changes could leave them stranded. This is the room in the University Medical Center in Las Vegas where 6 people were treated just a few hours after the bus rolled over.
Desde la milla cero aquí en el puerto fronterizo de Columbus, este pueblo enfrenta tantos retos como otros puntos en la frontera, pero hay una importante distinción.
President Barack Obama delivered his speech at Dobson High School here in Mesa. It is not known whether Sheriff Joe will keep on patrolling the streets of Guadalupe, but what is sure is that he can expect more protests in the months ahead. Phoenix police cannot reveal whether this strategy is working since the case is still under investigation, but they did tell us they are happy with the results so far. In the control room, Rafael Carranza, Cronkite News Watch. Avito Robinson has everything he needs to enjoy his time in Rocky Point.
I got a trailer here. I got a boat down here. We love coming down here.
Despite the travel warnings issued about Mexico, the Tempe resident didn't think twice about making his way down south.
We ain't never had not one single bit of trouble, ever.
And as spring break nears, officials are concerned those warnings will keep students away. Not the case for U of A grad student Kirsten Yaffe.
It doesn't seem like it's an issue, at least not to come here anyway.
Mexican officials say nothing has changed and they plan on making it just as safe for new tourists coming in.
Todos los cuerpos vamos a trabajar coordinadamente.
We will be working jointly with local and federal agencies to look out after the tourists visiting Rocky Point.
But police captain Rene Barranco also warned visitors that going down there is not an excuse for illegal behavior.
In the U.S., people have to abide by their laws, and here in Mexico, all people also have to follow ours.
Longtime visitor Madeline Richardson also has advice for students vacationing in Rocky Point.
They need to stay together, and they need to get a place and not stay on the beach like they used to.
In her eyes, there are other reasons for concern other than the warnings.
If I had children in college, I probably wouldn't want them coming down here on spring break, because I have seen what goes on in spring break down here.
Reporting for Cronkite News Service, I'm Rafael Carranza in Rocky Point.
Reporter Rafael Carranza has just returned from the border and joins us live from the Cronkite News Service Bureau. Rafael?
Liz, we spent this morning at Nogales speaking to the police chief and to some parents living in the border town about the new plan and whether or not the plan makes them feel any safer. We've all seen the pictures, especially in the past few months. Shootouts on the streets of Mexico reaching into Nogales. But now help is on the way.
What we want to do is to better secure the border area against further violence and make it a safe and secure area.
This announcement was greeted with optimism in Nogales.
It's a step in the right direction.
Nogales police officers are the first to respond to any critical incident at the border. They say any money and help they get from the plan will be used to help them better prepare.
We need to have the equipment, we need to have the training and the resources to be able to complete that response in safety.
And that's good news to residents like Cristina Vasquez.
I hope that they really solve this matter because it's too delicate.
Cristina is hoping the fix comes quickly. She fled violence in Mexico and doesn't want it on this side of the border.
We want what we had before, tranquility in Nogales, Arizona.
But adults are not the only ones who are hoping that the government finds a solution to this problem. Students on both sides of the border come to this school. Cristina volunteers here and says the children are the most affected by the violence.
Children come terrified to school. They see the news, they hear us talk about the violence. We hope the plan will work out for the sake of the city and our kids.
People in the school are hopeful that this new border plan will not only quiet the children's fears, but will also quiet the streets of Nogales on both sides of the border.
Obviously, there's a lot of involvement with the Mexican government also, which is a key issue.
The police chief and the Santa Cruz County Sheriff tell us that they feel Napolitano is well prepared to lead them through this plan because of her experience as a border state governor. Reporting live in the CNS Bureau, Rafael Carranza, Cronkite News Watch. It's a chilly evening in Nogales, Mexico, and Jose Maria Elvir slips on a sweater that was given to him. His hot drink sits on the table, and around him, other men who were deported.
We're serving between 100 and 200 people a day here in what they call the Comedor.
This kitchen is a big part of the Kino Border Initiative, a somewhat controversial plan to help deportees and those in need at the border. It's supported by 6 religious groups in the U.S. and Mexico.
working together to help people survive.
We here see the suffering of people who are being deported, being separated from their families.
For many of the immigrants who make their way to this center, their future is uncertain. But thanks to this new group, one thing they can count on is a hot meal.
Nosotras vamos a servir una sopa de calabacitas y calabacitas guisadas.
Not only is the program seeing almost 200 deportees a day going back into Mexico, but they are also finding themselves providing help for others preparing to cross into the U.S.
Mis planes es cruzar la frontera. Mi objetivo es trabajar.
Elvir has traveled 2,000 miles from Honduras to Nogales, where he has battled the cold for the past 4 days. He's preparing to cross illegally into the U.S. and says the program has meant the difference between life and death.
Si no estuviera esta ayuda, pues los moriríamos de hambre.
And while some may question the organization's goals, Father Carroll says they are not here to take a political stand.
We will be of service to whoever comes and requests them from us.
Only to help people. Reporting from Nogales, Mexico, I'm Rafael Carranza for Cronkite News Service.
Un nuevo estudio realizado por el Centro Pew determinó que los hispanos son los más afectados por la recesión económica. Miles de personas se unieron para denunciar al alguacil Joe Arpaio. Lo hicieron con una marcha, enviando así, según ellos, el mensaje que ya basta con las injusticias. La ciudad de Phoenix figuraba anteriormente en la nada agradable lista de las 10 ciudades más afligidas por el alto número de robos de autos en el país. Afortunadamente, este ya no es el caso.
Keila Torres cumplió la mayoría de edad este año, lo que para ella significa solo una cosa.
Ya voy a poder votar, ya tengo la edad y más acabando de los cumplir y es cuando vienen las elecciones.
Este 4 de noviembre, Keila, al igual que miles de latinos en Arizona, saldrán a las urnas para elegir al próximo presidente.
I think it's going to be Barack Obama.
Rodolfo Espino es un profesor de ciencias políticas en la Universidad Estatal de Arizona y experto en temas que afectan a los latinos.
The state of the economy is trumping everything, for all voters and for Hispanic voters as well.
Según Espino, la mayoría de latinos en Arizona votarán por Obama, pues este se ha postulado como el mejor candidato para resolver la crisis económica. Y a pesar de ser de Arizona, Espino dice que el candidato republicano John McCain ha perdido el apoyo de muchos latinos tras haber cambiado su posición en el tema de la inmigración.
La gran mayoría se ven afectados directamente a través de algún familiar.
Debido a esto, Carlos Duarte, director del programa Mi Familia Vota, piensa que el número de latinos en Arizona que saldrán a votar este año aumentará.
Y creemos que los latinos van a marcar la diferencia en carreras locales, en carreras estatales y en cuanto a las iniciativas.
El Centro Hispano Pew reporta que el número de latinos en Arizona que son elegibles para votar alcanza los 673,000 personas, o 1 de cada 5 votantes arizonenses. Siendo una de ellas, Keila piensa que es una responsabilidad que todos deben tomar seriamente.
Si nosotros no decimos qué es lo que queremos o cómo lo queremos, ¿quién va a saber si no votamos?